I was always jealous because the older cast members would get a break when they didn't have a scene, and the kids would have to go to the school.
Sara Gilbert has spent her entire life in the spotlight in some form of another. She is an actress best known for her role as Darlene Conner-Healy in the sitcom Roseanne and as the creator of the series The Talk. From child star to 90s sitcom icon to grown-up talk show host and mother of three, Sara Gilbert's life seems to have been full. But not many know that her life was never easy. Join us as we explore the lesser-known struggles and tragedies in Sara Gilbert's life. Before delving into the heartbreaking tragedies that marked her life, let's take a step back to understand the series of unfortunate events that shaped her journey. Born into a family deeply rooted in the entertainment industry, Sara Gilbert's lineage boasts a prestigious legacy. Her grandparents, Harry Crane, renowned for creating the iconic sitcom The Honeymooners, and Julia Crane, a talented dancer crowned Miss Brooklyn, laid the foundation for Gilbert's future in show business. Adding to the family's star-studded lineage, Gilbert's mother, Barbara Crane, carved her own path as a producer and Hollywood talent manager. Growing up amidst such illustrious family members, Gilbert was influenced by her older half-siblings, Melissa and Jonathan Gilbert, who found early success as child actors on the popular NBC series Little House on the Prairie during the 1980s. It was watching their experiences on set, along with the lavish gifts they received, that sparked Gilbert's desire to pursue acting. Recognizing her passion for the arts early on, Sara expressed her desire to follow in her family's footsteps. In an interview with Entertainment Weekly, she revealed her struggles in conventional schooling, longing for a more creative environment. This yearning led her to pursue acting, and at the age of 5, she landed a role in a Kool-Aid commercial, which served as her ticket out of traditional schooling. Reflecting on her journey on an episode of The Talk, Sara attributed acting to being a lifesaver. She expressed gratitude for the creative outlet it provided, rescuing her from the misery she experienced in school. Transitioning away from conventional education, Sara received personalized tutoring, a dream scenario for her. As her acting career flourished, she was able to stop attending regular school and instead received one-on-one tutoring, something that Sara declared was a dream come true. Her natural talent and passion for performance soon led to more significant opportunities, culminating in her role in the TV movie Calamity Jane in 1984. Star turn on Roseanne. In 1988, Gilbert landed her breakthrough role in the ABC sitcom Roseanne. The show revolved around the everyday life of the blue-collar Conner family, portrayed by Roseanne Barr, John Goodman, and their 3 children, quickly becoming a massive success. Gilbert played Darlene Conner, the quick-witted and relatable middle daughter. Over its 9-year run from 1988 to 1997, Roseanne depicted Darlene's journey from a tomboyish youth to an artistic and politically engaged teenager, a narrative closely inspired by Gilbert's own experiences. Her portrayal garnered widespread acclaim for its comedic and authentic portrayal of teenage life, earning her 3 consecutive Young Artist Awards from 1991 to 1993 and 2 Emmy Award nominations for Best Supporting Actress in 1993 and 1994. Additionally, Gilbert showcased her talent by writing one episode of Roseanne, titled Don't Make Me Over, which aired during the 4th season. Roseanne Reboot and The Conners. Thanks largely to Gilbert's efforts, the cast of Roseanne reunited for a reboot in 2018. The show, now focusing on the Conner children as adults and addressing contemporary issues like the presidency of Donald Trump, garnered high ratings upon its premiere on March 27th. However, the success was short-lived when Barr's racist tweet targeting former President Barack Obama advisor Valerie Jarrett led to ABC canceling the show just 2 months later. Fortunately, ABC announced in June that they would proceed with a spin-off titled The Conners, without Barr's involvement. Gilbert and other cast members released a joint statement expressing their happiness about continuing to tell stories about the challenges facing a working-class family. The spin-off premiered that October and concluded its first season in January 2019, receiving strong enough ratings to secure a second season on ABC. Despite her success, not many know that growing up in the spotlight was sometimes daunting for Sara Gilbert. At the young age of 13, Sara Gilbert shot to stardom with her role as Darlene on Roseanne in 1988. While thrilled with her sudden success, Gilbert found herself navigating fame during her teenage years, a time when most adolescents are grappling with their own challenges. "I was a very young, awkward person," she reflected on Late Night with Seth Meyers. "It's hard to have your teenage years in front of everybody." Despite growing up around the creative arts, Gilbert found it difficult to balance the everyday struggles of adolescence with the pressures of being in the spotlight. The only weird thing about being a famous teenager was that it's a really strong juxtaposition between the adoration and attention and the normal feelings of loneliness and isolation that can come with being a teenager, she explained to Deadline. In 1993, Gilbert sought a taste of normalcy by enrolling at Yale University. However, this decision came with its own set of challenges. Juggling her studies with her acting career meant flying to Los Angeles on Thursdays to film Roseanne, then taking a red-eye back to New York on Sundays, followed by a train ride to Connecticut, as she shared in a conversation with the Yale Alumni Association. Despite all, her career continued to flourish. Gilbert has made guest appearances on shows such as The Simpsons, 24, Will and Grace, and Law and Order, Special Victims Unit. Starting in 2004, she had a recurring role as medical student Jane Figler on the long-running hospital drama ER. She returned to primetime television in the fall of 2005 in the sitcom Twins on the WB network. The sitcom was canceled after one season when the WB and UPN networks merged to become the CW and had to drop a number of shows. She also had a recurring role on the short-lived CBS sitcom The Class as Fern Velch. Since 2007, she has appeared in many episodes of The Big Bang Theory on CBS as Leslie Winkle, a scientist friend with benefits to the character played by Johnny Galecki, who also portrayed her longtime boyfriend and husband, David Healy, on Roseanne. Starting with the second episode of the second season of The Big Bang Theory, Gilbert was elevated to the show's main cast, portraying once again a potential love interest of Galecki's character. At the end of January, it was announced that the writers didn't know how to write for her character full-time, and her status was, once again, reduced from regular to recurring. She did make a guest shot for Sheldon's birthday party on the 200th TBBT episode. During the period between the original run of Roseanne and its revival, Sara Gilbert became widely recognized for her role on the daytime talk show The Talk. Not only was she credited as the show's creator, but she also served as one of its original co-hosts, alongside Julie Chen, Sharon Osbourne, Leah Remini, and Holly Robinson Peete when it premiered in 2010. The Talk distinguished itself in the crowded daytime talk show arena by addressing various topics through the perspective of motherhood. Despite fierce competition, the show maintained its popularity. Sara Gilbert was scared to come out as gay. During her time on Roseanne, Sara Gilbert grappled with inner turmoil surrounding her sexuality. While she portrayed the on-screen love interest of Johnny Galecki's character, David, off-screen, their relationship didn't resonate with her as expected. In a candid revelation during a 2013 episode of The Talk, Gilbert disclosed that her feelings towards Galecki didn't align with what she expected because she realized she was gay. However, confronting her sexuality as a Hollywood actor presented daunting challenges. Gilbert admitted feeling immense pressure to conceal her true self, fearing potential repercussions for her career. She harbored concerns about potential backlash and whether she could continue portraying straight characters. Despite these anxieties, in 2010, Gilbert made the courageous decision to come out publicly. Although her sister, Melissa Gilbert, had long suspected her sexual orientation, she respected Sara's journey to self-discovery. Now a mother herself, Sara Gilbert underscores the importance of addressing homophobia with her children. Reflecting on pivotal moments like her engagement, which initially wasn't legally recognized, Gilbert emphasizes the necessity of discussing societal issues with her kids. By engaging in these conversations, she believes parents can instill in their children a sense of empathy and understanding, ensuring they grow up aware of the complexities of the world around them. She was devastated by her split from Allison Adler. Following her decade-long relationship with television writer Allison Adler, Sara Gilbert found herself navigating the complexities of heartbreak in 2011 when the couple decided to part ways. In an emotionally charged episode of The Talk, Gilbert bared her soul, shedding tears as she grappled with the aftermath of the breakup. Expressing her uncertainty about the institution of marriage, she delved into her inner turmoil, pondering the longevity of relationships and the complexities of love. Despite the pain of separation, Gilbert remained hopeful, longing for enduring companionship akin to those who withstand the test of time. Initially touted as an amicable split by representatives, behind the scenes, emotions ran deeper. Adler allegedly felt a profound sense of betrayal when Gilbert exchanged vows with Linda Perry in 2014. Reports suggested that Adler was blindsided by Gilbert's decision to marry Perry, feeling as though she had been left behind for her new partner. Sources revealed to Radar that while Adler acknowledged the challenges in their relationship, she harbored hopes of reconciliation, lamenting the abrupt end to their shared journey, her poignant tribute to a late co-star. In the original run of Roseanne, Irish actor Glenn Quinn portrayed Mark, the tough yet endearing boyfriend of Darlene's older sister Becky. However, tragedy struck in 2002 when Quinn passed away at the young age of 32. His untimely death was attributed to his long-standing battle with substance misuse, a struggle that persisted despite periods of remission. While filming Roseanne, Quinn's illness remained in check, but after the show concluded in 1997, he joined the cast of Angel, a spin-off of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, where his struggles resurfaced. Despite the unwavering support of his family, Quinn succumbed to his demons, leaving behind a legacy of talent and promise. In a poignant homage to her late co-star, Sara Gilbert, alongside Johnny Galecki, who played her on-screen love interest, paid tribute to Quinn during the reboot of Roseanne in 2018. Gilbert shared on an episode of The Talk that she and Galecki exchanged texts while brainstorming a name for their on-screen son. Reflecting on their shared connection to Quinn, Gilbert suggested Mark, the character portrayed by Quinn in the original series. Galecki embraced the idea, affirming that it was a fitting tribute to their beloved colleague. Taking to Instagram, Gilbert shared the heartfelt exchange, concluding with the hashtag named for Glenn Quinn, ensuring that Quinn's memory lived on in the show's revival. She found it difficult to part ways with Roseanne Barr. Over the years, Roseanne Barr's behavior has become increasingly problematic, leading to significant fallout. Once embraced by the liberal community and known for her collaborations with figures like Michael Moore, Barr's political leanings shifted towards the right, aligning herself as a vocal supporter of Donald Trump and an outspoken critic of woke culture. However, it was her controversial views that ultimately brought her downfall. In 2018, just as anticipation for the second season of the Roseanne reboot was high, Barr posted a tweet comparing Barack Obama aide Valerie Jarrett to a character from Planet of the Apes and accused her of supporting the Muslim Brotherhood. This racially charged and Islamophobic post sparked widespread condemnation. Despite attempts to apologize, Barr's remarks were deemed offensive beyond redemption. Sara Gilbert, her co-star and a close colleague, publicly expressed her disappointment and condemnation of Barr's actions. In a statement, Gilbert distanced herself from Barr and criticized her remarks as abhorrent, stating her disappointment with Barr's behavior. The repercussions were swift, with Barr being fired from the show and Roseanne being rebranded as The Conners. In a subsequent interview with the Washington Post, Barr accused Gilbert of ruining her life, attributing her firing to Gilbert's actions. Barr's resentment towards Gilbert was palpable as she lashed out, claiming that Gilbert would not rest until she had completely destroyed her. The animosity between the former co-stars was evident, casting a shadow over the legacy of the once-beloved sitcom. The talk kept Sara Gilbert away from her family. In 2019, Sara Gilbert made a significant announcement. She was departing from her role as co-host on The Talk after 9 years. Her farewell speech was emotional, revealing to the audience that she had been wrestling with this decision for some time. Gilbert confessed that her departure stemmed from feeling overworked, as she juggled filming commitments for The Conners alongside her duties on The Talk, which left her with limited time for her family. "If I'm being honest about it, I think my life was slightly out of balance," she reflected. "And I wasn't, able to spend as much time with my 3 kids as I'd like, or take time for myself." In an interview with Deadline, Gilbert elaborated on her decision, emphasizing that prioritizing her children was paramount. Despite the difficulty of stepping away from The Talk, she recognized it as necessary for her family's well-being. "I know I need to act more, and I know I need to produce, and I know I need to see my kids," she shared. "I've had the opportunity to do the talk show for 9 years. It felt like, okay, now it's time to focus on these other things." Gilbert also confessed to feeling relieved about leaving the show, particularly regarding the pressure to divulge personal details on air. As someone who values her privacy, she admitted to finding it challenging to discuss her personal life so openly. With her departure from The Talk, Gilbert expressed a sense of liberation, no longer feeling obligated to share intimate aspects of her life on a national platform. "I'm okay with letting that piece of it go," she affirmed to Variety. She split from Linda Perry after 5 years of marriage. In 2019, Sara Gilbert and Linda Perry faced a heart-wrenching moment when Gilbert filed for separation from her partner. Their love story had begun with a magical proposal orchestrated by Perry, featuring a picturesque scene with picnickers serenading them with a rendition of a Cure song and T-shirts bearing the words, "Will you marry me?" Gilbert was overwhelmed with joy and excitement, expressing on The Talk that she was unequivocally certain about spending her life with Perry. "So I think that's it, and it's the most amazing proposal ever," she gushed at the time. Their enchanting engagement led to a beautiful wedding ceremony in Malibu the following year, where they exchanged vows and embraced the journey ahead as a married couple. Gilbert shared her sentiments on The Talk, emphasizing the sense of security and commitment that marriage brought to their relationship. However, after 5 years of marital bliss, Gilbert filed for separation, citing irreconcilable differences. Their divorce was finalized in 2021, marking the end of their union. This turn of events was especially poignant considering Gilbert's previous reflections on the complexities of marriage. Perry, reflecting on the separation, expressed her enduring love and admiration for Gilbert, emphasizing their ongoing journey together. "You have to look at life as life, and things happen," Perry mused in an interview with Page 6. "I'm still on an incredible adventure with Sara. I love her. I adore her." Sharon Osbourne allegedly made homophobic remarks about Sara Gilbert. Sharon Osbourne's controversial tendencies have always made headlines, whether it's her support for Brexit while residing in the U.S. or her questioning of Meghan Markle's identity as a black woman. Throughout their tenure on The Talk, Osbourne and Sara Gilbert shared what appeared to be a close bond, with Osbourne even shedding tears when Gilbert announced her departure. Expressing her deep affection for Gilbert, Osbourne recounted instances where Gilbert had shown immense kindness, especially during her husband's illness, describing her as a sister-like figure. However, reports emerged suggesting a different dynamic behind the scenes. According to sources cited by Yashar Ali of The Reset in 2021, Osbourne allegedly made racist comments about co-host Julie Chen and homophobic remarks about Gilbert in private. Leah Remini, a former co-host on The Talk, echoed these claims, detailing Osbourne's use of derogatory language towards Gilbert for not taking her side in conflicts with Chen. Osbourne vehemently denied these allegations in an interview with the Daily Mail, although she repeated the racial slur she was accused of using against Chen. Subsequently, amidst mounting accusations of workplace misconduct, Osbourne departed from the show. Despite the controversy, Gilbert refrained from publicly addressing the allegations made against Osbourne, maintaining her silence on the matter. Sara Gilbert is raking in the big bucks. ABC, recognizing the success of The Conners, made sure to secure its key players for the long haul. In 2021, they enticed Sara Gilbert, along with co-stars Laurie Metcalf and John Goodman, with a lucrative offer, $400,000 per episode, to continue their roles in the beloved sitcom. This deal, as reported by Deadline, covered the entire fourth season, totaling 20 episodes. With such a generous arrangement, Gilbert and her co-stars found themselves in a position of financial comfort, with Celebrity Net Worth estimating Gilbert's fortune at an impressive $30 million. What sets this negotiation apart is the annual deal structure, contrary to the typical 6-year contracts prevalent in the industry. This approach provided Gilbert, Goodman, and Metcalf with greater flexibility and bargaining power during contract discussions, ensuring that they were fairly compensated for their contributions to the show's ongoing success. Sara Gilbert has been enjoying some private time. Sara Gilbert has noticeably retreated from the public eye in recent times, preferring to keep her personal life under wraps. Despite occasional paparazzi snapshots, such as her outings with longtime friend Alicia Silverstone or rides on her electric motorbike for errands, Gilbert has maintained a level of privacy. Her departure from The Talk has played a significant role in this newfound discretion, as she explained to Variety. With her focus now on The Conners, Gilbert expressed relief at the prospect of not having to discuss her personal life publicly anymore. Reflecting on her decision to step back, she shared, "There is some relief and thinking like, wow, if I go through anything in my personal life now, I don't have to talk about it." Embracing this shift towards privacy, she acknowledged that while she had previously pushed boundaries by being open on television, she now felt comfortable relinquishing that aspect of her public persona. One consequence of her absence from The Talk is the lack of insight into her 2020 split from Linda Perry. While Perry has occasionally addressed the topic in interviews, Gilbert has remained notably silent on the matter, allowing her personal life to remain shielded from public scrutiny. Sara Gilbert has several other projects in the pipeline. In addition to reprising her role as Darlene in the successful Roseanne spin-off The Conners, which is set to return for its 6th season in 2024, Sara Gilbert seems to have several other projects lined up, both in front of and behind the camera. One of her ventures is as the executive producer of The Pradeeps of Pittsburgh, a sitcom based on the real-life immigration experiences of Vijay Patel and his family, who moved from India to the United States. This project highlights Gilbert's interest in telling authentic stories that reflect diverse experiences. Furthermore, Gilbert's involvement in Verbatim, an HBO Max anthology series, was announced in 2022. The show's first season delves into the 2019 college admissions scandal, featuring notable names like Rob Hubel, Lyrique Bent, and Tate Donovan. While it was not disclosed which role the Emmy Award nominee would portray, the series has yet to premiere, leaving audiences curious about Gilbert's contribution to the narrative.